Hi everybody, my name is Allie and this is Niklaus and welcome to a Niklaus Nugget. As I had mentioned before in the past, prenatal care, which I am getting, isn't as one-on-one as with my first son, so I don't have much of little nuggets of information about this little guy. It's, I guess, kind of like a surprise. Yesterday, however, at 39 weeks and 1 day, I got the scare of my life. I was coming downstairs, minding my own business, and I realized that everything was really bright. I figured because I was coming from upstairs, which I was using artificial light, coming to downstairs where there was nothing but sunlight, that my eyes were taking a moment to adjust to the different type of light. Well, I'm walking around, I'm doing my thing. It's not until I pull out my phone and realize that I can only see half of the screen. Like, from this side, that way, I could not see anything. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, oh, you know, whatever. I'm waiting for it to come back. I'm just relaxing, I'm sitting, I'm drinking water. I had been eating prior to this and my vision is still not getting better. I had timed it, I think from, and I can't remember if it was 11 minutes or 13 minutes from when I started timing it, that my vision had just been completely shot in one eye. And after that, I regained eyesight. I started to get this really weird dull pain in the back of my head, kind of like if someone had a pencil and just pushing it. It wasn't necessarily too painful, but it still kind of, I mean, it came with some pain, but it wasn't excruciating or anything like that. And then at that point, my sinuses felt really clogged and almost like there was a lot of swelling and pressure behind them, like my nose was gonna start to bleed, which it didn't, thankfully. And then on this side, up here, I couldn't see anything. I'm like, okay, great. It was a black spot. So I called my husband and we went to the doctor and got everything checked out, and here's a little bit of footage of that. I can see again, which is always nice. What's that?
Fluids.
For who?
For Niklaus. Because nobody knows about you. So apparently her blood work's fine and her urine's fine and she's a big crybaby.
My blood work's not fine yet. We haven't found that out yet. The urine is fine. There's a little bit of white blood cells, but that's
normal.
Normal.
Blood sugar's fine.
My blood sugar's fine. He needed to be pepped up a little bit. He wasn't doing too good, but he wasn't doing too bad either. But I guess now since the IV's been in, he's been better. It was super embarrassing. So the explanation they gave me was it was a migraine, the start of a migraine with some blackout stuff. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it right here when I look it in. But that was it. The only other thing that my test came back with my blood work was that I am on the anemic side, which is to be given. I mean, I was anemic my entire first pregnancy as well, and that was it. It was basically a bunch of hours, a bunch of poking and prodding and laying there for a migraine. I've never been so embarrassed in my entire life. I've never had migraines before. My husband suffers from them chronically. I feel like when it comes to certain ailments like migraines and food poisoning, this might sound terrible, but I've never actually really believed in them because people just throw them around all the time. I'll be like, oh, hey, what's the matter with you? And the people are like, oh, I got food poisoning. I'm like, do you really? Because you're on your 5th donut. Because I have once in my life actually gotten real food poisoning, and I will never make fun of anybody who actually has it, who legitimately has it. That stuff is no joke. And same goes with migraines. I feel like people throw around that word all the time. Oh, hey, what's the matter? He's like, I got a migraine. I'm like, do you really? I feel so bad for anybody who actually suffers from migraines. I am so sorry. I had no idea that a migraine could leave you blind temporarily. That was one of the scariest things. But he's doing good. I'm going to my weekly visits now, my weekly appointments, and at my last appointment, I actually was checked for dilation and effacement, and my doctor at that appointment said I was 3 centimeters dilated and 80% effaced, which was like, yeah, I'm so happy, because with my first, I had no type of anything. I was only ever checked once in my entire pregnancy, I think maybe twice with my first, and it was literally like I was barely a 1, and that was because he stuck his finger in there. So to hear that I was at a 3 already, like, it made me so happy, because I'm really trying not to be induced with Niklaus. I do not want that. It is a really tough labor. I'd rather labor at home as long as possible, labor naturally, you know, what have you. So to hear that I'm actually progressing on my own was so great. But yesterday at the doctor's, yesterday at the hospital, I had them check me again, and I was 3 centimeters, but I was at 50% effaced. And obviously that depends on like the doctor, apparently. I don't well, I mean, but I don't know, who knows, because labor can actually start to go backwards. It's been like shown and like studied and proven that if the like time isn't right, or if you as the birther doesn't feel like safe, you can actually start, like, pregnancy can actually, or not pregnancy, but labor can actually start going backwards. So if you were super like effaced, you're super dilated, if you know, if things aren't right, if you're too stressed out, it'll actually start to go backwards. So I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping what happened here was just a difference in feeling of effacement for people, you know, I don't know. So that's what I'm hoping. But like I said, I was at the hospital, and it wasn't the most comfortable. It wasn't the most, you know, I was already scared. I was already nervous, thinking that there was something wrong with him. One thing that did happen yesterday, though, that was just kind of annoying, because I wasn't really given much of a, an explanation, I suppose, is that I had to get an IV with some like sugar water, basically, because Niklaus wasn't doing too good. These were the nurse's exact words. He wasn't doing too good, but he's not doing too bad. They want to see him a little bit more lively. I'm like, okay, well, if he's not doing good, he'd be doing bad, right? But then, like, he's not doing bad. I'm like, so is he just existing? Is he just like, I don't know if maybe he was sleeping and they wanted to see him a little bit more active or what. But I mean, he pepped right up, and he was kicking the monitors, trying to kick them off my belly the entire time. So that made everything a little bit more comfortable. So yeah, it's Mother's Day today. I don't know when I'll get this out, but I do believe this might be my last Niklaus Nugget, unless I am told something tomorrow that is so amazing that I'll make another update. But I do believe this is going to be Niklaus's last little nugget until he's born, which is weird. And I guess I'll just share some like thoughts and feelings I have for this upcoming birth and upcoming voyage on motherhood part 2, I guess. I am as nervous as I was the first time about giving birth to him. Not necessarily like the pain and what to expect, but at the same time, yes, because I didn't go into labor naturally, so I don't know what it's going to be like. That being said, I am progressing on my own, so that's a good sign. But like I said, I don't know what to expect. So in that aspect, I feel like a new time mom, because like I said, I'm really not trying to be induced, but I mean, it might happen. Tomorrow is supposed to be my last doctor's appointment, and I don't know if they're going to try to do induction, or they're going to try to talk to me about induction, or what. But I don't know, you know, it's a little nerve-wracking in that aspect, but at the same time, I feel a little bit more comfortable, which is weird. Like, how can you be comfortable? Like that nurse, how can he be good? How can he not be good, but how can he be bad? Like, how can I be comfortable but be uncomfortable? I guess it happens. So I'm excited for that. I am just excited to be breastfeeding again. That's one thing that I totally feel like I have in the bag. One weird thing about this pregnancy is that I am not leaking in any way, shape, or form. With my first, I actually had like colostrum, but it wasn't actually, it was droplets, but by the time I had noticed it, it would like crystallize. It was the weirdest thing ever. It would hurt my nipples so much, because it was just like walking around with little like crystals of like colostrum, and that was very fun. But with him, I have been able to express just a little bit, and also Vladdy, my son, is still comfort nursing off of me, and sometimes when he does nurse off of me, he'll sign more. Like he'll detach and sign more, so he may be getting something, he may not be getting something. He doesn't do that unless he is actually eating something, so I don't know. So that's, I guess, a good sign. But as far as nursing goes, I feel like I have that right in the bag. I'm not concerned, I'm not worried. I was so worried the first time around, and this time it's just like it's still so fresh and so in the back of my mind. It's become such a second nature thing to me that I'm just excited to start it back up again, you know. Yeah, it's cool to be able to leave my son with a bottle and just like walk away, but I don't like washing bottles. Tomorrow, like I said, I have a doctor's appointment, which I will have them check me again to see if I have dilated anymore. Another thing I'm going to ask for is a stretch and sweep. Yeah, it is, I guess, an induction in a sort of way, but it is not necessarily what you would consider one with like that has any medical like any what am I thinking of the word? Any like medications or anything like that. It's more on the natural side without being natural, because it's quite literally when your doctor sticks a finger inside of you and tries to separate your cervix from your amniotic sac, and that for the most part helps labor, pick up labor. They did it to my older sister, and she had her baby, I think, within like 24 hours. So I'm hoping for the same thing for myself. I don't know, I'm just super excited. So I hope they'll be able to do something for me in that lines, because like I said, I'm really not really trying to do Pitocin again. So that'll be exciting. I am just excited to see him. I think I'm ready. I hope I'm ready. In the back of my mind, I still can't believe that it's already time. He's already going to be born. And I guess at this point in time, since it is Mother's Day, I just wanted to, I guess, dedicate this next little segment to him. I mean, it is a Niklaus Nugget, so it's all about him. But I guess this is just more personal, just for him. I want to let you know, Niklaus, that I love you. That you mean so very much to me. And I can't wait to meet you, and I can't wait to see you. You're already such a big part of my life. You're such a big inspiration, such a big source of strength for me, and I don't think you'll ever realize. And it wasn't until earlier today too that I guess I started to comprehend how much we've already gone through. Like, and obviously you're a baby, so it's not like, you know, I mean, you're inside of me, so it's not like, I guess technically you weren't really there dealing with all these struggles and stuff like that, but at the same time you were. And it just makes me so happy to realize that out of something not necessarily dark, but out of such a so many hardships, like, that you're fine, that you're great, that life does continue, that, you know, life pushes on. Life will find a way. Very Jurassic Park. But yeah, it's wild. I mean, this past few months while being pregnant with you have been very rough ones. As you know, your cousin, my nephew, was diagnosed with IS, and literally the very next day I found out about your existence, and that was really tough. That was really rough. Seeing your baby cousin, or not your baby cousin, because you're the new baby cousin, seeing your cousin like that was terrible and scary. And, you know, it was rough. And then everything that's happened as far as in our politics and in our world, it's just been so scared and just so nervous and so nerve-wracking. And yet, you know, here you are kicking me in the middle of the night while I like worry about things. And at the end of the day, as long as you, me, and your brother and your daddy are together, you know, we're a family regardless of where we are. And you, by just existing, have made me realize that. And I just want to say thank you. I know Mommy hasn't really been doing many videos or many updates, and I'm sorry, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. I mean, you probably won't even care about these at one point in time. I'm sure your big brother's going to be like, oh, I hate it. I hate that she did these stupid videos for me. And you're going to be like, yeah, I didn't get any stupid videos. So, but I love you so very much, little Niklaus. I love you so, so very much. And I can't wait to see your beautiful little face, my angel. Can't wait to see you. Since I last seen you guys, I actually had my baby shower, so I'll show you some footage of that right there. So we are on our way to my baby shower, and I have no idea where. I love it! Do you? Yes! It was so nice. It was a surprise baby shower. I literally got dressed and everything was already ready. I didn't have to cook, which always is amazing, and I didn't have to clean up. But it was wonderful. My husband and my sister and her boyfriend did an amazing job, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. It was such a wonderful time. And I also took some maternity photos, which I'll show you guys right here. We went up to a, I guess you can call it a ghost town in Nelson, Nevada, which isn't too very far from here, but it was lots of fun. It was really nice, and I mean, this is it, and you guys, I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. He'll be here soon. Man, I really got to edit this and put it up, so it's not like he's here first and then this nugget goes up. But that's about it. I'm just super excited. I can't wait to see him. My hospital bag is packed. Don't tell my mom, but I actually just got done packing it yesterday when I was waiting for my husband to come home so he could take me to the hospital. So everything is ready to go. I got the GoPro all charged. I got everything ready. I hope you guys have been enjoying these Niklaus nuggets. They are just that. They're just little nuggets of information about my little boy. Niklaus from the front. This is him from the side. And then we'll show you naked belly. Naked belly from the front. Naked belly from the side. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you're the lurking type and can't wait to see this little guy like we can't, follow us on Instagram, and we will see you guys later. Thank you everybody for all of your encouraging words and just everything, all of your love and support. It has been a very difficult time just existing as myself, but pregnancy wise it's been a very smooth one. I mean, aside from yesterday's migraine, whatever that was, but everything else has been really great. So we will see you guys later. Bye.